Podcasting from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan, it's the Detroit Cast. Please welcome your hosts, Mike Clark and Mike Walters.
Shut your fucking mouth.
And good afternoon. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Detroit Cast. Mike Walters here. Jay, you're here as well. The group is here. Eric, Timco. Big day. Big things to get to today. How are you doing, Jay?
Really good, man. How are you?
Good, good. You recovered from your fatherly fail duties yesterday with little Ella riding the bike?
Yeah, I liked your spin on it, that I could actually be a Foyk here. Father of the Year candidate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I like that spin. I thought about it some more, and I'm going to go with that.
Good.
That's how I slept that night.
Yeah. How do you guys like the new studio here? If you've noticed, the new studio setup. We've got thanks to G, my brother. He thought the show sounded really good. He wanted to do his part to help, and bought these new Rode PSA-1 studio mounts for our microphones, because I had this absolute for sure, without question, it was going to happen that Eric, of all people, was going to knock over a microphone into the board or something. Oh, no, I swear to God, that's what I thought. I just was like, it's going to happen. It's going to be accidental, but it's coming.
No, it would have happened eventually. There's no question. I'm like all out.
I'm not ragging on you. It's just, it is what it is. You know.
Add some versatility. I can lean back now.
Lean back, stand up. Yeah. So thank you, G, for.
That's not what he first said when he saw him. He said, "Now I can lay down."
Now I can lay down.
You can. Yeah. Absolutely. You
Thanks,
can.
G.
Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of a different feel around here, but I like it. I feel like I have more room with my hands, and it's nice. We're becoming a professional operation here, and we should get right at it. The draft finally. What is it? August now. We're doing the draft. It seemed like it took
forever, man.
It did, and after all the build-up, all the hype, all the talk, and the talking heads and the experts, the Lions got their man.
Yeah, got a tight end at number 10.
From North Carolina, who, I'll be honest with you, until yesterday, I didn't even really know who this dude was. Yeah, Eric Ebron?
Yeah, I'd heard of him, but only in like draft lead-up stuff. It's not like he was on my radar. Watching him during the season and stuff, but apparently he's a sweet tight end, pass receiving tight end.
Yeah, who thankfully he'll fit right in with the Lions because apparently he's got a case of the drops as well.
Yeah.
He's known for his hands, and he can make ridiculous circus catches, but then can drop the most easy of catches, kind of like Pettigrew,
who they re-signed.
I
had forgotten about that. They'd re-signed Pettigrew, so here we are.
Now,
with this old, pick the best player available kind of philosophy.
Which is the dumbest thing ever.
It is when you're at the point of a team like the Lions where you have some holes that ought to be filled in, and you've got a lot of other pieces that are good to go in areas that don't need as much as others. So
when you're talking about an expansion franchise that they've basically just got bodies making up their NFL roster, but they've got holes everywhere. It makes sense. You take the best player available. You know you need help on all three phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. You can't go wrong with taking the best available. It's a starting point. But for the Lions, who most people feel is a team very close with proper coaching, and you insert a couple of the right players, could really contend in this league for the first time. It sounds funny to even talk about it, but then you go and get a tight end.
Yeah, it looked pretty obvious when we discussed it before that defense was the area of need, whether it be linebacker or secondary.
Yeah.
And probably not another offensive weapon. It's a luxury to get a guy like this. But they went ahead and took him.
They took him, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Were you surprised to see Jadeveon Clowney go first to the Texans?
No, I keep replaying that one play over and over in my head that Eric hates, where he just blows through the line and just blows that Michigan running back up. So it's one of my favorite football plays ever.
And I'm a Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan State fan too. I didn't go to either. I don't care. But I like both teams and colleges. But that play is arguably one of the sweetest plays you'll ever see in college football.
Just the timing of it.
Yeah.
You know how quickly he came across. And just, boom, there goes the helmet.
And the best part of that play is...
He recovered the fumble.
He picked up the fumble with his left hand. I mean, that was a mash of people on top of him. If you didn't see the play, you obviously don't watch football or care. But, yeah, he broke through the line, blew... who was the running back? I can't even remember his name at this point. Blew him up, knocked his helmet off, and then recovered his own the fumble. It's one of those plays that goes down. It's kind of like Charles Woodson's one-handed interception against Michigan State. It's just awesome. So yeah, I guess it doesn't surprise me. But Jadeveon he probably should have come out a year ago.
Well, he couldn't because of the rule. He was a sophomore.
Was he? I thought you had to, after your sophomore year you can come out.
No, he must have been a freshman then. Whatever it is, he was 1 year behind.
Okay.
So he had to go back to school.
Because this reeked of a guy who knew he was going to the NFL, would have been the number one pick a year ago if he was eligible to come out, I guess, and had his sights on the NFL, didn't want to get hurt, and kind of shut it down. So then you get into talk of, well, is this guy really NFL material if he's going to take plays off or whatnot? So it wouldn't have surprised me if he didn't go first, but he's a beast, no doubt about it. So he goes first. Probably the biggest news of the draft was the sliding down of
Johnny
Football, or Johnny Cleveland, as they were all chanting last night. But man, how about the Browns?
Yeah, They were making some moves.
That new executive they've
aggressive.
got. Yeah, they traded down at first, just a couple slots. Ended up picking up a first round for next year and a 5th round or something. Parlayed that into the guy they really wanted, which was Justin Gilbert, who we had talked about, who would have fit nicely with the Lions. Yeah, if they were going to move up, So they get their guy, Justin Gilbert from Oklahoma State, and then what do you know? Johnny Football slides. They pick him up at 22, and still got another first-round pick next year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a first-year executive, first time he's done the draft, I'd say big success for the Cleveland Browns. They're going to be
so far.
Yeah.
But you know what? That trading down aspect kind of brings me to a point about the Lions that has always bothered me. It seems like they're so quick to make their pick. Once they go on the clock, they go on the clock, and it's like, oh, let's show how quick we can get our thing up there. Like, even if you're not receiving any calls, it's total crickets.
Yep.
In terms of other people wanting to call and possibly trade, sit there and wait. I mean, you never know. There's no downside to waiting other than it pisses us all off because we're waiting.
Because we're waiting, and they have 15 minutes in the first round. Now that drops as later rounds. It gets down to like 5 minutes when you're into the fifth round and whatnot.
Wait, there's no downside to it.
What did they do? Was 7 minutes? Did they go at 7 minutes or something? The pick is in, which means they got their man. I feel the same way. Jay, what is the harm? What could possibly be the harm in waiting?
Still gonna get the guy.
Yeah. Nobody else is going to
pick.
cut in front of you. It's still your pick for another 8 minutes. But it's funny you say that because in the paper today, Mayhew was talking about, of course, they're all acting like, oh, wow, we got our guy.
Yeah.
He was on our board, and we wanted him all along. But they said, we certainly talked about moving up. This is Martin Mayhew was saying this. We certainly talked about moving up with other teams. We talked about moving back with other teams. We didn't find a deal that made sense for us going either direction, so we stayed there at 10. So we did have a conversation about moving up. We did. When it came time to make their picks at 10, the Lions made sure by holding off just a bit. We waited a couple minutes. We always wait a few minutes to see if the phone rings. Got a couple calls. Nothing big was happening, so we decided to move on and make the pick.
That is so stupid. Wait your entire time.
Wait the whole time, especially in the first round.
Especially when he's saying there was talk.
There were calls coming
what
in.
An idiot, man.
Exactly. Because I'm pretty sure they made that call at 7 or 8 minute mark, and they had minutes left. If calls are coming in, what's to say that it wasn't what you were looking for at the 7 minute mark?
Yeah.
You hang up with them. Why go make your call right then? Who knows? In 3 minutes they might go, okay, how do we make this a juicier pot? And call them back 3 minutes from now and go, okay, now we'll add our 4th and 2nd round pick next year.
Yeah.
And
hey, Martin, we thought about it. You wanted a 5th round. We weren't willing to do that. We are now.
Yeah, we are now.
Dude,
we want this guy.
Nobody's going to jump your spot.
Exactly. So, I don't know, but they seem to act like, oh, yeah, we did. We waited. We always do. Because you and I thought the same exact thing. Guys, what's the rush? It's the first round.
Maybe they're paranoid by that. What happened to the Vikings? I think it was about 10 years ago, 8 years ago or so. Where
totally.
They didn't get it in time.
And teams were just leaping.
Yeah.
Now that's a reason to rush your pick.
Hell yeah.
And what did 2 teams pass them?
I think so.
I think it was the Raiders and one other team passed them. Yeah, it was amazing.
This is what some of the experts are saying about Ebron.
Yeah, there you go.
Kiper says, and this is, of course, Mel Kiper, what Ebron is a glorified wide receiver at 6'4.5", 250. Talk about a great athlete with tremendous speed. He can stretch that deep middle area. He can make some tremendous circus catches, highlight film catches. He needs to have a higher concentration level. He had some drops during his career that just made you scratch your head and say, why?
Yep.
He will not block. He's not going to assist your running game, but as an impactful pass-catching glorified wide receiver, that's what Eric Ebron is. So essentially, you bring him into the game. Everybody knows they're throwing.
Yeah. Well, they're not rushing now. That's interesting. What else are they saying?
Yeah. Let's see. Mike Mayock of the NFL Network. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen for that size. I think he could become a better blocker because when he wants to, he does it. When you combine him with Joseph Foria and Brandon Pettigrew, all of a sudden Matthew Stafford has multiple weapons on offense. Hold on.
He already did.
Hold on. So everybody needs a stable of 3 tight ends? Is that what this dude's saying?
Apparently.
God, this is such a luxury pick.
Yeah. And they don't even know what they have with Fourier yet.
Right, exactly.
He's hardly played.
You could have this player and Fourier. You don't know.
Yeah, a guy that can't block and can make great, amazing catches, almost receiver-like.
It's about the same size, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or maybe even taller. I think he's like 6'6" or something. But
it's gotten to a point in the NFL where teams, when a team lands a Jimmy Graham in New Orleans, who a lot of people are comparing this kid to, or what the Niners got with Vernon Davis. It's like, oh, we got to go get the guy that mismatch. He's got really big wheel. He's really fast, and he's you can't cover him. You can't cover him with a corner. They're too small. You can't cover him with a linebacker. He blows by him. But those guys are literally, there's been 2 or 3 of them in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Do you really think this is that guy?
Yeah, you're trying to find the next one. And
Yeah.
You think, yeah, I'm going to find him in a year. But again, one of the reasons they might have done this is the Saints. I'm sorry. The new offensive coordinator from the Saints.
Yeah, the guy that worked with Jimmy Graham for a while.
So he's enamored with that sort of player, and so I'm sure he was fully behind it.
You're 100% right there. Lombardi.
Yeah, Lombardi.
Yeah, Lombardi was all over this guy. Apparently, he was the one that he wanted. He really fits this offense. He had a great visit here with us. We feel great about him. And the other news on him, did you see him get engaged?
Yeah.
Yesterday on the where was that? The Empire State Building.
Yeah. Yeah, he went from the Eiffel Tower to New York.
Yeah.
He took the Concorde.
He could have been in Vegas. He could have been in Vegas. There's an Eiffel Tower in Vegas.
That's true.
Yeah, thank you, Eric.
There you go.
Any other comments from the experts?
If you call Ray Lewis an expert, which
really.
Steve Mariucci calls Matthew Stafford the luckiest guy in the world right now. He's got weapons galore and another big weapon to go along with Calvin Johnson. They might throw for 5,000 yards every single year of Matthew Stafford's career with guys like this.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the pressure was on Stafford, and it's clearly more squarely on him now. He's got every reason to succeed now.
But even without this guy, he had every reason.
I agree.
He's got a ton of weapons, man. With Calvin, Golden Tate, you just got him, and then out of the backfield with Reggie Bush and the other Joique Bell, who looks amazingly good. Fourier's a weapon. Pettigrew can be a weapon.
Yeah. I just think it's a really flawed, and you agree with me that this best player available deal is just a flawed philosophy for a team like this.
Yeah, and I hate hearing that. It was the best player available. It seems like a cop-out.
Well, it's almost like we can't criticize then because we don't know their board, right?
Right.
Well, you've met all these guys, you've looked at all of them, and hey, they say it's the best player, so we've got to go along with it. No.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what your needs are. Go fill a need, man.
Everybody knows what they are. And cornerback was the secondary on defense was a glaring issue with the Lions. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing in these other rounds, especially when you know that there were guys still available that absolutely could have been plug-in help this year immediately.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people say, well, let's wait and to see what they do, and maybe this pick won't. No, they just spent a number 10 pick on a luxury.
Yeah.
When they had, as you say, a lot of people on the board sitting there that still could have helped them on defense. So
yeah.
I don't care if they picked defense the rest of the way. They still wasted
a 10.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Would you have rather have seen him go after a Darqueze Dennard?
Not him specifically, but somebody in the defensive backfield or a linebacker, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else was there. Dennard
Gilbert
was there.
Taken. There was another cornerback from LSU, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And then
there was Calvin Pryor, the free safety.
Yeah, Clinton Dix.
Yeah, Clinton Dix.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's the dumbest name ever.
It's like it's like from that skit. What's the Peele and the guys on?
Oh, Key and Peele.
Yeah, they do all the fake names.
Yeah,
that's one right out of that.
Oh,
Clinton Dix.
Seriously, that was like his grandma's nickname, Jay.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's a dumbest name.
Ajmataj Buckshank.
Everyone's gonna walk around saying Clinton. Is that gonna be on his jersey?
Yep. And if you're so interested in protecting Stafford, why not go with Taylor Lewan, who was there still? And I know you're not a big Lewan fan, but you wouldn't hate him if he was if he was your left tackle for the next 15 years. But anyway,
you could have explained an offensive lineman for sure more than this pick. This is just
absolutely, and hopefully he turns into the next Jimmy Graham, Vernon Davis.
I'm sure
Tony Gonzalez.
I'm sure he will be a good player and have success
somewhere else.
No, I think he will here. He'll catch touchdowns. He'll do some good things, but it's not what they needed.
Well, he sounds like a very confident guy. Me kind of. I've heard him already talking third person.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
have some good quotes.
Yeah, he really thinks he's the best player in the world. So We'll see. The draft, wrapping it up here, and we'll move on for you people that hate sports and despise this entire conversation. It was big news for a long time, so bear with us. But today we've got rounds 2 and 3 starting at 7 o'clock tonight. Teams have 7 minutes per selection. Maybe the Lions didn't know that, and they thought they only had 7 minutes.
They'll run up in 3.
Yeah, right. And then in round 2 and 5 minutes per selection in round 3. So Saturday, rounds 4 through 7 start at noon. And ESPN tonight from 7 to 8. Today, noon to 8 on Saturday. And then it switches to blah, blah, blah. But you'll be able to find it if you care. So, yeah, anyway, big news there. And also in the world of sports, but kind of unsports related, did you hear about the snake found in the locker room?
The NBA locker room, right?
Yeah.
Was it the Trailblazers?
That sounds right.
Yeah, they came across a rattlesnake.
Portland Trailblazers. A rattlesnake. Dude, a rattlesnake's not a snake you want to run into. Gardner snake?
Yeah.
That's fine.
3 to 4 feet long.
Yeah, they talk about this being a baby rattlesnake at 3 to 4 feet long. That's a big-ass snake, dude. They were getting ready for their after the Portland Trailblazers lost the opener of the Western Conference semis in San Antonio. They were almost snake bit before Game 2. A baby rattlesnake, estimated at 3 to 4, was discovered in the locker room at the AT&T Center about 2 hours before the game Thursday. It was found by one of the reserve forwards. He moved a bag from his locker, and there it was.
Oh,
God, yeah, it's not like it was just going across the floor and you saw it across the room. You pick up a bag.
I have a friend who lives in Clarkston who maybe about 3 months ago found a baby rattlesnake in his basement.
Really? How big was this baby?
A Massasauga rattlesnake. A couple feet. He took a picture of it. I mean, I'm just judging from that.
Did he hear it, or did he just see it?
He saw it kind of whipping across his floor. He has a finished basement. There it was.
Wow.
I know, dude.
And that's the because I didn't think rattlesnakes were in Michigan.
Yeah, Massasauga are the only ones, and there's a lot kind of north of here. Decent amount. There every year or so there'll be news story about some dog getting bitten or a little kid getting bitten. I mean. You can treat it. It's just as long as you.
I ran into
fairly soon.
I ran into a rattlesnake that was not a baby. It was a full-grown, massive rattlesnake. We were in Texas at the time. My dad was in the Navy and stationed somewhere, or he probably was out of the Navy then. But either way, we were living in Texas for a brief period. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and playing in the backyard with G, who would have been 2. My sister probably not even born. But anyway, this snake is in the backyard. My mom sees it through the window as we're playing in the backyard, and this thing's slithering around back there, full-grown rattlesnake in Texas, and called the sheriff's department out. I remember it. I don't remember anything from that age, but this guy came out, the sheriff's department, that big hat, like exactly what you'd think a Texas sheriff would look like, with a shotgun. Boom! Blew this thing in half, and it was still rioting. It was still slithering, like as it was blown in half. And they literally just took a shovel, like the spade end of a shovel, and shoveled it into the garbage can and went, "Good day, ma'am." And off they went, and that thing sat in our garbage can waiting for pickup on whatever garbage day it was.
Sweet.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, big ass.
Pat couldn't just take a shovel to it herself?
Yeah, no, she was more worried about her kids, selfish as she was. Yeah, not good. I hate to do a story like this one, but it's of course it's got Michigan ties to it. But the story we've heard about for the last couple of days now of this mansion fire.
Yeah, in Florida.
In Florida with the pro tennis player.
Yeah, the pro tennis player owns the mansion, right?
Right.
Am I missing? You're probably going to read it in the story, but am I missing why he's renting this out? Mansion out to this people? Like, he's not living there, right?
No, he doesn't live there. Pro athletes
house.
Travel a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big-ass house, 7,000 square feet, I thought I read. 5-bedroom, which seems a little small for a mansion. It looked bigger than 7,000 square feet. And but yeah, this guy and his wife and their 2 children were shot. That was the key there. We didn't know that at the time. When I first started seeing this story, we didn't know anything about it. But yeah, I guess they were shot before the $1 million home they were renting burned down in what they're calling an arson, a fire perhaps exacerbated by fireworks and gasoline. Darren Campbell is his name, and his wife Kimberly met in Michigan. I don't know why that's key to the story. They always want to say where they were. Oh, they met in Michigan. We got Michigan ties. But they haven't been able to even identify these bodies yet, so they're almost positive it's them. But investigators said they're looking into the possibility of a murder-suicide. Authorities recovered a gun at the home, registered to Darren Campbell, and he bought an exceedingly large amount of fireworks and gas cans days before the fire. Now, when I hear exceedingly large amounts of fireworks, I think exceedingly. Turns out that he bought $650 worth of fireworks, which sounds exorbitant. It sounds like a lot of fireworks. $650 does not go that far when you're buying real fireworks. I've probably got $600 worth of fireworks upstairs. Derek and I went on a rampage when they first made them legal in Michigan a year or two ago. And
you better get them before they outlaw them again.
Yeah, we went nuts one day, and we should blow them off. I've got a ton of them that are haven't been fired off, but they're the ones that shoot way up and big explosions. Blonde Joke is one of them. It's got shoots like 36 fireballs, and it's got a bunch of half-naked chicks on the cover of it, like in the paperwork all around it, and a bunch of pair of boobs on it. Yeah, it's called Blonde Joke. I still haven't lit it off. So at $650 worth, it's just not that much in fireworks. But anyway, as a side note for it, authorities still have not positively identified the bodies, but the family has not been accounted for, and a relative said they were inside the home when it burned.
So the fireworks are obviously just another accelerant. Is that what they figure? He put them around the house.
Well, I don't know why he would have done that. There are easier ways to light your house up. It could have been for the 4th of July, which isn't that far away. But buying the gas cans, maybe douse the house, and then you're hoping the fireworks blow off in different directions and light curtains on fire, I guess. But why? The question always in things like this: why?
Seriously. And who's the tennis pro again? Because this is when we talked about this story, both of us were like, who is that?
Yeah, I felt kind of dumb.
Was it like James Blake or something?
Yeah, James or Jason Blake. James Blake.
Never heard of him.
Never. They keep saying pro tennis player. He must be somewhat decent if he's got a house that's as nice as that one is. I don't recognize him from his picture. Have you ever seen him before?
I've never seen him in my life.
Not that I follow a ton of tennis, but Timco's got pictures of him pulled up here. I've never seen that guy in my life. But this kid, it sounds just awful, man. This this guy took a let's see, the family moved to Tampa more than a decade ago. They sold their home in 2012 and signed a 2-year lease for the 6,000 square foot home owned by James Blake. This kid, this 19-year-old, his son, Colin Campbell, is a talented baseball player who's just planned to graduate high school next month. 19, just graduating high school. Does that seem a little old to be graduating high school?
Graduated high school at 19.
You did? Yeah, enough said. Right. It's proving my point.
I kind of had a situation also. Anyway.
A setback, so to speak.
So to speak.
Well, never mind.
His teenage sister Megan was a 9th grader who made the honor roll and took dance lessons. I've lost my entire family, this relative says, from his Michigan home. It's very tough right now because I'm 1,500 miles away. Campbell bought 6 packages of fireworks and the same of firecrackers and about the same number of fireworks designed to shoot into the air, described as backyard fireworks. They could have started the fire, but it would have spread slowly. Neighbors described hearing the fireworks. In fact, I think on the 911 call you can hear the neighbor going, "Geez, what's that popping sound?" It was the fireworks going off. This couple met in Lansing. She graduated from Central Michigan, and Darren has a master's in business administration from U of M. Yeah, so they really do have Michigan ties, but just a terrible story, man. Why do people in that position, why do you rent $1 million pad?
Isn't that weird?
Instead of buying one? I mean,
yeah, to give a little sense of what this neighborhood was like, I read that Jeter had a house there.
Yeah.
So
did you see the pictures too of the police? They got, they always have the police tape roped off. In one of the pictures I saw, Tony Dungy's there, like in his,
really?
it's like sleepwear, pajamas, or something, talking to police. Yeah, so it's like a total gated community, and Tony Dungy, like you said, a lot of players are there, and just a terrible, terrible story. But I wonder why. You just wonder why. Why?
Yeah, more will come out, I'm sure, in the coming days about.
No doubt about it. No doubt
debts
about
or
it.
conflict or something.
Yeah, exactly. There had to be, but you figure with a business major from U of M, master's degree, and how does that guy of all people
get depressed? They get desperate. Who knows?
Yeah, but I understand that. I totally do. I could be borderline close myself at this point. To be honest with you, I'm not even kidding.
What are you, about 10
there
months
are
in?
days where it's like. It'd be a lot easier to just leave this place and be done with it all. God damn it, it just doesn't.
And then
seem
you get new microphone arms, and it just inspires you.
I'm happy for a few days. I better get new microphone arms once a week, though. But I wouldn't. In that situation, if I got to that desperate point, you wouldn't find Jay, Eric, and Timko dead here as well with fireworks going off. Like I wouldn't take everyone else out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't get that either.
It just seems like. It's one thing if you want to take yourself out, but when you start taking your whole family out, I don't know, man. And another terribly sad story in today's paper we're hearing about, and I don't think in any way anyone was trying to take anybody out, but can you imagine this father backing his car out of his driveway and runs over his year-old daughter and kills her? How do you even live with yourself after something like that?
Nightmare. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about making those rear cameras required on all. What is it? 2018. Timko says. Makes sense. Those backup.
Yeah, I've got it on my car.
Cameras and it starts beeping and stuff and.
Yeah.
Man, that's total nightmare because I have little kids and I'm always so paranoid that
Aren't you?
them or one of their friends, books behind there real quick.
I know we're like that with Izzy.
Yeah.
If you got the dog outside, and when I'm leaving Beth's house or backing out, it's like always on your mind. I can't even imagine with a kid.
Well, a 1-year-old, that's like just walking.
Yeah.
That's a little kid.
Now, a 1-year-old wouldn't have any concept of a moving vehicle. Not like they don't have any.
No,
not at all.
I mean, they'd see it coming and probably try to
wave at it or
skip out of the way. But
would they? That's what I'm wondering. Would they try to skip out of the way, or do they?
Well, as it became obvious that it's going to hit them, yeah, but it's probably within inches of them before they realize that. So,
like, I would think a 3-year-old, 4-year-old would go car and get out of the way. But that's what I'm wondering. Like a 1-year-old, do they?
No, you're right. The reaction would be slow.
If at all. I wouldn't even think they'd react at all. Like, they wouldn't have a concept of, vehicle coming, hit me, not good, hurt. Like, I wouldn't think that would be in there. And maybe I'm wrong, but...
And I feel like this just happened in Canton not too long ago, too, where there was maybe someone dropping a kid off at school or something. But, man, you hear these stories, and it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. This guy, and you can totally picture it, too. He's washing his car and then hops in his car real quick. He's going to pull it into the street and just park it. And in that instant, boom. I mean, your entire life changes over, in a sense. He didn't realize the child was behind him, ran her over. His brother came out and told him to stop. That's when he realized he'd run over the child. They rushed to call 911. Ambulance arrived and pronounced dead, at the hospital there. And then they dispatched chaplains to the house to help them deal with the grief and helping officers deal with it. I guess it was such a devastating scene. Even the officers, they were offering help with the chaplains. Anytime there's a child involved, it's just something you'd never ever get out of your head. Just crazy,
dude. Terrible. We got to lighten this up. We talked Lions and a couple of deaths.
I know.
I'm you're bringing me down, man.
I know. I'm sorry.
What about the Burger King breakfast?
You want to go to Burger King breakfast?
Cheer me up,
already?
Dude.
All right, I can do that.
You're telling me now I can pull up to Burger King in the morning and buy what?
I'm telling you, you can pull up to Burger King before 10 a.m. and get a Whopper with cheese if you want. You could get a hamburger. You could get fries. This is something I've talked about forever. Yeah. Like, why do you hold me back? What if I don't like breakfast?
Yeah.
Which I'm one of those guys. It's not crazy. I got to be in a real mood to have breakfast food. Mm-hmm. So a Whopper at 7 in the morning absolutely is what I want. No doubt about it. And they point out that this is going on at more than 5,000 locations, which sounds like a lot, but I imagine there are 5,000 Burger King locations in Michigan alone. So I need to know which Burger King locations around here are offering this.
Well, it does make a lot of sense because it's not like they were offering breakfasts that were healthy or something like that. You know, the stuff they were offering had just as many calories and fat grams as whatever.
What do you mean? The French toast sticks aren't healthy? I always thought those were. You know, as long as you don't put too much syrup on them. But yeah, they're not offering everything. They
give people what they want. Damn it.
Yeah, they've got Whoppers, cheeseburgers, the Big King sandwiches, which is a ripoff of the Big Mac, and the chicken sandwich, French fries, and apple pie. So I don't know why they decided on those things. Onion rings, forget it. You can wait. You will not get onion rings, but we'll give you the apple pie.
I think what they're going to see is they're going to see such a rush on this later in the day food that's being offered early that they will, in fact, offer it all.
Full menu?
Yeah, eventually.
Well, I always asked why. Why not? Why not? And I think it has to do with the way they, like, it's a different cooking.
The way they heat it up.
the way they nuke it is different based on it. It has something to do with that. Like, it's a different process for the breakfast items, as dumb as that sounds, versus the burgers.
I think everybody was just stuck in this idea. Well, people want breakfast, and so we need to compete with other breakfast places, and this is what they want. No, people just want that crap, like big-ass burgers and stuff.
Yeah, and
McDonald's started doing this kind of recently, though. But it was more like,
did they?
But
I don't remember.
No, not in the morning. But they're like,
well, that's
now if you get there like 2, but
that's
if you go
the whole story. The whole story relates to what they often want.
This is kind of the similar, dude. Okay, it's till like 2 to 4, 2 to 5 in the morning now. McDonald's has it because I've had a few times where I've come home from the bar and it was later. And I didn't want breakfast anymore, and they started offering. It's like from 2. I don't know the time.
2 a.m.
2 a.m. to like 5. There's a certain time now at McDonald's where you can get a limited breakfast and lunch menu at like
when they're switching over.
Yeah, kind of in between. It's a few hours from like 2 to 5.
Well, they've got the Taco Bell thing going late at night, right? And they're probably trying to compete with that, just drunk food.
Exactly. And Taco Bell's jumped into the breakfast thing. Remember that commercial we were watching with Ronald McDonald's, the Ron McDonald's of the world, all enjoying their breakfast.
Yeah, everybody's all confused about this. Just offer everything all day round,
dude,
24/7.
I couldn't agree more.
The McDonald's
just offer it all.
The Taco Bell AM Crunchwrap, by the way, is pretty good. Just throwing it out there.
The AM Crunchwrap.
I've never had it. It looks ridiculous.
It's good.
They make it in a taco mold.
It's got egg, the sausage, and the hash brown in there. See, I like eating food like that. I like eating food like mushed together. I'm telling you, that AM Crunchwrap is really good, though.
Well, you'll have to bring some over for us one day because I've never had it, and I don't think I'm.
We're never here early enough. I'll have to buy it in the morning.
Yeah, true. Well, should we get into? We do have some stuff. We'll give you an update on our friend, the whore, self-proclaimed whore. We'll give you an update on
big
her.
news on her.
Yeah, absolutely. Big news is right, and. Should we do? There's a story here I saw in the paper today about this revenge porn, which basically is what it sounds like. You're dating someone, you ask for a few nude shots, maybe you get some guy sends a picture of his dick to you, or you get your girlfriend to send some nudes of her, and then the relationship falls apart, and now some guys feel the need to post those pictures. Look what I used to have. And so a lot of states are trying to ban this. And I don't know how you feel about this, but it's kind of a slippery thing there.
So the sequence is this. You break up with the chick. You hate her so much that you throw what was supposed to be a private video or pictures up on just some YouPorn or something.
That
post it for everybody.
Yeah.
And then what? She gets wind of it and she goes to the cops and says that was revenge.
I guess.
I mean,
I guess this thing is humiliating, and there are a couple sites though for and Tim Cody,
that actually might focus on this.
Totally, they do. Yeah, like my ex. Yeah, they're meant for
very specific, just for this.
Yeah, extremely specific.
Well, what's to stop people from doing what I said then? Just not going to those specific sites and just posting it out there.
Nothing.
And then it's like her word against you. Well, yeah, that was before when we were going out is when I posted it. It wasn't in revenge.
And the fact is, everybody knows, even if you are successful and if you fight that and that's me nude and he posted it and I don't want it up there, even if you're successful in getting that yanked off a site, once it hits the internet, it's over. It's out there. So there's no pulling it back. I think people just have to be aware that relationships break up, and if you're sending a nude picture of yourself to someone,
just assume it's going to be out there.
Yeah, anything you don't want out there for the world to see, and that's hard to do, especially in this selfie world we live in. In fact, weren't we looking at a story just the other day, Jay, about they're catering to selfies with new phone cases now?
Well, yeah, and there's going to be remotes that you can hit. Yeah. You can throw your phone up on the other side of the room and boom, hit a remote and take your selfie.
Phones have now where you can click the picture on the back.
Yeah,
because right now, obviously, I can do it, but you have to do this. Now you can do it like here
on the top.
Yeah, just for a picture.
Well, the one that Jay is talking about, there's a new case that's come out. There's a couple of them, but the one in particular we were looking at is like any case that it looks like any old case that you would put your phone in, but it's got a remote control that slides out of it and is like just a handheld, and so you can set the camera up like Jay said, and then handheld take a picture, which is kind of cool, but that's the environment we live in with selfies and all of that. But they say that this year alone, Americans will share an estimated 55 billion, with a B, billion camera phone photos. 55 billion. I wonder how many of those
are porn.
Nude. Yeah, probably a lot of them.
Probably half.
Have you ever sent a picture of yourself that you would not want the world to see?
No.
Never?
Nope.
Not. Like, I know there's 1,000 probably of Derek's balls out there.
But he doesn't care if the world sees them.
Right. But you've never sent a ball to Gab in a laughing manner.
No.
Like, hey, check it out.
Honestly, Eric's looking at me like bullshit. No, I swear to God.
No, I actually believe you only because of maybe.
I don't think I have either. I don't think there's a ball picture of mine out there at all. Maybe, but I don't think so.
Spread a noose, yeah.
Yeah, spread a noose, perhaps. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Holly Jacobs is the girl that they're focusing on here. She learned the hard way several years ago. She says a former boyfriend posted explicit photos of her online without her permission. We need to recognize this is a form of sexual abuse. Nobody should be using this to abuse someone else. That's not okay. But critics of the revenge porn laws include the American Civil Liberties Union, which worries the measures are so broadly written that they outlaw legitimate actions. ACLU attorney Lee Rowland says laws need to make it clear that someone knowingly and maliciously shared a photo instead of simply passing a picture they found online. Yeah, that's really tough when it gets out into that world. Is it?
Well, yeah. I mean, you hear that and you go, ACLU. How can you possibly argue against that? But they probably do have a point. It needs to be very specifically worded, or else people who are doing legit stuff could get pulled into it.
And what would be the difference, though? I mean, honestly,
I don't know. What you just read, just that they're passing it on instead of maliciously
trying to hurt someone.
Yeah, but the whole thing has to be, the lesson has to be, again, as we said, if you're not comfortable with it getting out there
to everybody, don't take it.
A total dick move by guys or girls doing this, but
it is.
You
but
gave it to them.
You can see when a relationship's going good, it seems very simple to send an innocent enough topless shot. But when things go bad, they usually go really bad. It's not usually where you break up with someone and you part good friends for real. It's very common where it goes bad and someone's seriously bummed out, doesn't want to lose the person, and
it's probably not weighted similarly in that you can't look at it and go, well, she has pictures of me, but I have pictures of her, so I'm not going to release the pictures of her because she'll release the pictures of me. Most guys wouldn't give a shit if their stuff was released.
Totally.
But chicks, you're probably doing something pretty nasty to a chick that might be embarrassing to them.
Yeah, you're right. And the fact is,
more embarrassing than having your junk out there, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, the fact is, who's going to want to see another guy's junk unless they're a famous athlete or something, and just for curiosity and the uniqueness of it, it's like, I'll check it out. I'll check out his dick and balls, I suppose.
Yeah.
For the laugh of it. But just Joe Public, nobody's going to care. But
whereas
guys,
when you're looking at what Timko pulled up, who I assume is the young lady who's making this argument,
question here,
any of us would go, pull up her stuff. See
I wouldn't mind seeing her titties. But girls aren't nearly as creepy as guys. No girl is going to go, I'd love to see Jay's balls.
Right.
Pull them up. But every guy in America, probably globally, would go,
why not?
I got nothing going on right now.
Clicks away, why not?
Show me your titties. Pull them up. And I want to know.
Why aren't we watching it right now?
Come on, Timko. He means pull up her titties.
Clearly, she's pulled her titties.
You
are
listening
out
over there,
dude? She clearly is all about taking photos of herself.
We're just talking about it.
We're just trying to do the responsible thing and get all angles of the story. We have to really see how the impact is.
No, pull their titties out.
That's why I'm trying to find them.
So did this bitch successfully get her titties pulled off the internet? Is that possible?
There are some companies, man, who go out there and try to really scrub stuff off the internet for you. I'm sure it costs a ton.
You think so?
I'm sure it's pretty difficult, but yeah.
It's so funny. He's searching to find this, and the pictures that he's finding while searching for her in the interim are just despicable.
Yeah.
These are fathers who have failed miserably in their job to keep little princesses.
Well, anytime, if you ever look at Jay when he's trying to post pictures for the or for the website for like the post, you can ask him about his Google searches. He can type in the most minute thing, and 9 out of 10 are just horrible nude pictures. Like Google, that's all it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm trying to think what it is. You guys probably aren't on Twitter. Well, you might be, but I'm assuming Timko and Jay are not. I Like Girls Daily. Do you follow I Like Girls Daily? ILGD. It's the greatest site ever.
It's on Twitter?
If you just go to Twitter and follow I Like Girls Daily, there's no stories, there's no waste, there's no fat. It is just all day long a new post of gorgeous girls naked in all forms of undress. It's just like, oh wow. At any point in the day you're feeling down for whatever reason, I Like Girls Daily. Little pick me up. It's perfect.
So to speak, am I right? Get it? Erection.
Yeah, we all got it.
Very subtle, Eric.
That's why I'm a comedy guy. That's where stand-up comes from.
Yeah, they don't waste any time with anything. You can see their posts there. Jay, feel free to scroll through and tell me what you think.
Just a variety, as you said.
Yeah, very nice. A lot of them are selfies. Skanks taking pictures of themselves in the mirror, or selfie just turning the picture around. But
here's one with a Smurf.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Smurfed. What is she doing with a Smurf?
She's just hanging. Oh, it's Katy Perry. Katy Perry's hanging out with a Smurf.
Like Papa, or
no, just a miscellaneous Smurf. Wouldn't you agree? That's not Smurfette and it's not Papa, so it could be any of them, right?
It's not. What is it?
Could be Sexy Smurf.
No, she was on.
It's Katy Perry, dude.
It's not Azriel, is it?
The cat.
Yeah, Azriel and Gargamel.
It wasn't Sesame Street. She was on Sesame Street one time.
Oh yeah, she was. Let me see it.
Dude, I got like a 1/2 by 1/2 picture here of Katy Perry with a Smurf. I don't know what it's from.
And really, who cares?
Well, I know.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. That is a Smurf.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to tell because the white hat
blends into the background.
Blends into the background. So if you look at that picture there, it looks like a Sesame Street character.
Yep. And I just knew that she was on the show. That's the only reason I would have even said that. I knew she was on that show at one time.
I'm surprised that I Like Girls Daily would send that out there because there's no form of undress via the Smurf or Perry.
You didn't indicate you like Smurfs Daily.
Exactly.
So
yoga.
Hope there was some sort of.
You like yoga?
Yoga pants.
Girls who work out is one of their things here. Yeah, it's just a nice. It's a nice site for people new to Twitter. Check it out, you'll love it. And it kind of goes along with our next story. I guess we've put it off long enough. Our famous hooer, the hooer,
hanging out in Australia allegedly.
Yes, and I want to warn you now. This is not going to be. A lot of people are going to find this
despicable.
Despicable, to say the least. And it bothers me to even bring it to light.
Is not the ending that we hoped for.
No. Bidding for, let's see, Elizabeth Rain. Yeah. We knew that was a fake name. But for Elizabeth Rain, the 28-year-old medical student Let's see. Bidding for that auction closed yesterday at $101,000, and we sounded like.
No, 801.
Yeah, what did I say?
I thought you said 101.
Oh, yeah, not 101. $801,000. And yesterday or 2 days ago when we did
thought
the show,
it was curious that it was like still open. It seemed like.
Well, we were morons. None of us, the four of us, realized that it was the 7th. We're going, oh, it's after the 7th. It's after. I kept saying it, and then
it was.
I got
7th.
home and Beth was
You're
like,
right, today's the 9th.
I was yelling at the fucking radio, going, "You assholes! It is the 7th." And I'm going, oh, it's the 8th or the 9th or the 20th right now. What's going on with this?
It's like mid-May.
What are they doing with this half-ass thing they got? What's with this whore? Get it together, whore. And we were wrong.
But the thing that's confusing, though, is it was in Australia. So, the time zone difference,
we
were
right.
Don't try to give us a break here. We were wrong, and I sounded like a moron.
Okay,
And nobody in the room corrected me and went, hey, dipshit, it's the 7th today. I appreciate the attempt, Timko, I really do, but, I'm sure Beth was not the only one going, hey, idiots, it's the 7th today. So, but anyway, she announced in a recent blog that she no longer intends to lose her virginity to the winning bidder.
What?
No longer intends to lose her virginity to the winning bidder, citing the swirl of press attention surrounding her story as one of the factors behind her decision.
Come on.
This is total bullshit.
This is such bullshit. If you guys remember, you couldn't just place a bid. You had to pay a non-refundable $100 into her PayPal account in order to even place a bid.
And that's the key here, Mike. This chick doesn't even exist. This is two hairy guys sitting in their basement somewhere in Missouri who put this whole thing together and who are laughing all the way to the bank because they took how many thousands of bids on this.
Yeah, at $100 each. Because they were quick to point that out. We don't want any bogus bids, so we're putting this $100 on that you have to bid on there. It's non-refundable. Because that was the first thing I thought was, well, what about the $100 all these people paid? Do they get it back? Would that qualify as a lawyer? What would you think? This sounds like an absolute scam from where we're sitting. Would a court say no? You give them their $100 back. That's not what the non-refundable is meant to.
I don't know.
That's
safeguard against. Yeah,
but you know they just scammed it. I mean, it's in a bank account somewhere and it's gone
overseas.
Nobody's getting money back. Nobody's getting refunds. This chick doesn't even exist. I guarantee. I bet some chick comes forward,
says
in
that
2 months and says, "Yeah, I posed for some modeling shots,"
or had no idea it was going on and just found out about it now. She says, "I'm here to tell you that the terms of the auction will not be fulfilled with the blessings of my management and the high bidders."
Oh,
yeah, right. I have decided to put a stop to this kerfuffle and return my focus to my medical training.
She said kerfuffle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would not have said kerfuffle.
I don't know how many guys would have said that. Maybe a chick does exist here.
The high bidders? Yeah, that's true. Rain's announcement that she would be shutting down her auction comes shortly after she came out to the Huffington Post, revealing her face in a series of photos. Previously, she'd insisted on remaining anonymous by obscuring her face in pictures, disclosing only select biographical details on her blog. In the piece, she revealed that she had been born in the American Southwest, spent her childhood in Saudi Arabia, and that her mother had been killed in a plane crash when she was 10. Her decision to come out was prompted in part by increased speculation that she would be involuntarily outed. I wanted to do it on my own terms. Rain also expressed her concern that she would be ejected from her medical school if her identity was revealed.
This is all bullshit.
Totally,
she doesn't exist. The fact that pictures were released doesn't prove she exists.
Yep.
This is such bullshit.
Right. Although Rain insisted that she had every intention of going through with her virginity auction back in April, the announcement that she's backing out comes as no surprise to those who have followed similar stories in the past. Natalie Dillon, the San Diego woman who tried to auction off her virginity, and that was at the Moonlight Bunny Ranch, which is legal. You could do that there. In 2009, also backed out of her auction shortly after receiving the winning bid of $3.7 million.
Holy shit.
At that point, go through with it for $3.7 million. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? I'd do the guy for $3.7 million.
Well, how much is the house taken in that instance? And presuming that this chick exists, the house is taking something too.
For
big
sure.
Percentage. Still.
Still, 3.7. I wonder what taxes would be like on that. Would you have to pay? You would have to pay taxes, I guess. Caterina Migliorini, Brazilian bikini model who appeared in the 2012 documentary Virgins Wanted, also seemed to have gotten cold feet. She shut down her auction after a Japanese businessman offered more than 700 grand. So this Brazilian
racist.
Yeah, Brazilian bikini model only gets 700 grand, and this skank going to the Moonlight Bunny Ranch warrants 3.7 million.
Who knows?
Wow, it's certainly possible that Rain's auction was a hoax, and she never intended to fulfill the terms of the auction in the first place. A concern that many skeptical commentators addressed when the story broke. But whatever her reasons for shutting it down, or even initiating it in the first place, she wants to make one thing clear. I still do possess some spitefully strong beliefs about virginity, prostitution, and a woman's right to do as she damn pleases. But school is my first priority.
And all of these statements are just being released.
They're all, exactly. Yeah. She didn't come out and do an interview, and because you brought that up, I was like, well, she did do an interview with the Huffington Post.
It just says that she released photos.
Well, and it sounds like anybody could have done a phone interview. Sure. I think you brought up
the Notre Dame guy.
Yeah,
the guy last year who fell in love with the fake girlfriend.
God damn.
And the girlfriend died. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Manti Te'o.
Yeah. Manti Te'o. And what was the skank's name?
I don't remember the girl's name at all. I have no idea.
Shit, I can't remember. But yeah, that was weird. Did you feel bad for him, or were you just like, what an idiot?
Yeah, what an idiot.
Did you remember seeing her on I think it was Dr. Phil, where they put the guy behind closed doors to see how the voice sounded?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and because everyone was like, come on, how would you fall for?
Yeah.
It's a guy doing the voice. How would you fall for it? And so they put him behind this curtain and had him do the voice, and it was like, oh, okay, I might have bought that too.
Pretty hot chick.
Yeah, sounds kind of hot. I'd do her. Yeah, not good.
Still though, the asshole had never met her.
I can't pronounce it. Kakia? Oh yeah.
Oh, Lene. Yeah. I feel like this chick should be forced to put out for making us go to this length. I feel like a judge should absolutely make her go through with it. And sorry, honey, you made your bed. You're going to put out in it.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Go for it. Doesn't it sound reasonable? But the details start to get a little clearer, because we were asking, well, wait a minute, you don't have to leave the country to go through with this. You can go to Nevada easily, especially if you're from the Southwest. Nevada's a lot better than Australia, but every number for her, because we tried to call her the one day, remember? They're all, you had to dial the new country code, 011, blah, blah, because they were all out of the country.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
So they all probably landed in a PayPal bank account out of the country, and good luck retrieving that.
I wonder how many bids were taken, at $100 a piece.
Well, that's what I wonder, too, because it hardly seems worth it almost if, say you got 50 bids.
Right.
You're talking about $5,000.
I know.
Is it worth all that hoopla? Because if it was $10 an entry, there probably would have been a hell of a lot more entries, don't you think?
Yeah.
Would have been a bigger pull. I don't know. Hopefully we hear more about this story. You guys all be kind of heads up, and people listening to us right now, if you hear any more details on this, I'd love to know if this chick exists at all or anything about it. I really would. Well, why don't we take a quick break, and we'll get into some other things when we come back. We all had a good laugh at that Al Sharpton video.
The hairball.
On the last show. Yeah, the hairball. And there's a couple other videos out there that we should get into, including that the very own Al Sharpton, which is hilarious.
Skinny Al or Fat Al?
Skinny Al, actually, and maybe a little Fat Al as well. Yeah.
Let's mix them in.
Yeah, we'll mix them all in. We'll get into that and some other stuff as well next on the Detroit Cast.
We'll be back with more of the Detroit Cast after this short break.
In this digital age, sending naked photos to boyfriends and girlfriends is becoming more common.
And while there are laws against teens sexting, there is no law against adults sending pictures and no laws against the person receiving them, then posting them online. WGN's Frank Holland has more on a disturbing trend called revenge porn.
It's not hard to find websites dedicated to revenge porn, but for the people victimized, mostly women, it's very difficult to get those pictures off the internet. Of course, being exposed online is embarrassing, but a victim of revenge porn
This digital age, sending naked photos to boyfriends and girlfriends is becoming more common.
And while there are laws against teens sexting, there is no law against adults sending pictures and no laws against the person receiving them, then posting them online. WGN's Frank Holland has more on a disturbing trend called revenge porn.
It's not hard to find websites dedicated to revenge porn, but for the people victimized, mostly women, it's very difficult to get those pictures off the internet. Of course, being exposed online is embarrassing.
Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroitcast. Mike and Jay here on a Friday. And we were talking about our friend, the Virgin, the self-proclaimed whore virgin, who bailed on her responsibilities as a whore, who was going to sell her virginity to the highest bidder for $800,000 plus, and then all of a sudden, cold feet, whatever you call it, backed out. And what do we have? Some comments here?
Yeah, we got curious over the break, so looked a bit further into her recent blog entries, and you have a myriad of reactions by people. Some are, oh gosh, I wish you the best, and other people are very cynical, like we are.
Of course, like, and who would write "wish you the best"?
Exactly. Well,
seriously,
here's a person, Martina, who is like us. I call BS on this. For her to back out after weeks of hearing her spew her beliefs and staunchly support what she was doing and why, I find it really difficult to believe that the reason is she wants to return to her studies. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And this person also references the non-refundable bidding deposits.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, so they're sort of on the same wavelength as us. But then you've got somebody saying, I'm sorry you decided to back out so soon, but I'm actually glad you backed out on it. For someone as thoughtful and as smart as you, I have always hoped that your introduction to sex would be magical and romantic.
Fake!
Seriously,
shut up.
Seriously. And then
as if she knows this person, like.
And then back to the sort of smart-ass side of it. Here's Andrew Fielder, who offers a new blog title for her. How about thoughts of an almost whore? Have a wonderful day.
That's great.
But my favorite is this asshole who again, back to the side of things, like, oh, good luck to you, says, woo, good for you for listening to your heart. I think this whole thing got way out of hand. Good luck on your test and future, wherever that may lead you. May your story be filled with adventure.
Is that a chick or a guy that wrote that? Can you tell?
A.W.
It's got to be Andrea Williams. Yeah. It's got to be a chick. God. I think guys would be all over that. Like, bullshit. Oh, that's
unreal.
Funny, dude.
So, yeah, we'll keep watching this and see.
I would love to know
who comes forward to claim those pictures or whatever, because this chick doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, it certainly isn't the first time we've seen fraud and bullshit stories, and one that's a totally different type of thing was back with Tawana Brawley. Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Claimed, who was running with Fat Al Sharpton at the time. Look
Sweet
at him
hair.
There.
Look at the hair on that.
Look at that dude.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Piece of shit.
See, that's how I like to think about Al.
Yeah. Instead of the hairball Al.
Yeah. To picture him as Fat Al.
But that case was totally a hoax. She had falsely accused 6 white men, including cops, of having raped her. It never happened. However, remember, didn't she roll herself in shit too?
Yeah.
In
New York, right? She's based out of New York.
Yes.
Comes up with this claim, and that's what put Sharpton on the map. Sharpton went screaming out, "Oh, this is such injustice!"
Yeah, race thing. Yeah. And it didn't take very long of interviewing her and other people before cops knew bullshit. They smelled that out, but I don't think any of them has ever apologized for that. Sharpton's never. It's just like, what? Act like it didn't happen. It's like, dude, for all the people you absolutely attack the way you do with such venom, you would think, you'd be a little more humble about bullshit things like this. Well, Tawana Brawley is, she was served with a court order earlier last year to settle a hefty defamation suit against her 25 years after accusing an innocent man of rape. She's finally paying for her lies. Last week, 10 checks totaling $3,764.61 were delivered to ex-prosecutor Stephen Pagonis. The first payments Brawley has made since a court determined in 1998 that she defamed him with her vicious hoax. A Virginia court this year ordered the money garnished from 6 months of her paychecks. She's a nurse now. Could you imagine having Tawana Brawley as your nurse?
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
It's awesome that they're garnishing her pay.
Absolutely. She still owes $431,000.
It'll be a while.
And how nice is it? She remains defiantly unapologetic. What a total piece of shit. She's worse than the shit she rolled herself in.
Mm-hmm.
God, how long did it say? 10 checks totaling. How long did it say that it took him to get that much from
25 years later, after she.
Yeah, but I'm wondering about the $3,700 in garnished wages. What amount of time?
Percentage?
Yeah, what percentage is that?
No idea.
You know, because I'm the further question I'm wondering is how long it will take her to pay $431,000 back. Is it like, yeah, we'll see you in 500 years?
Yeah,
when you
exactly. No, this guy will get about 60 grand back total.
Yeah. Probably, but which is worth it. Anything they can take from this piece of shit is worth it. But it gives us a weak excuse to look at more and more video of the Reverend Al Sharpton, Fat Al Sharpton, Skinny Al Sharpton, either which. I don't care which. They're all great. But he's got this new show on MSNBC, which is where we saw the hairball incident, which is some of the funniest video I've ever seen. And I guess, and I'll be honest, I haven't watched much of Sharpton's show. I can't stand Al Sharpton. He's right up there with Jesse Jackson. I mean, probably worse than Jesse. But Al Sharpton apparently has a lot of trouble reading his teleprompter and screws up everything. And this video ends with, I saw this when we were going through the hairball video. This video ends with the hairball moment. But here's just a small list of words he's botched trying to read his teleprompter. Resist we much instead of must. They're all jitty instead of giddy. The tortoise, the tortoise or something. Co-author of Hubris. He's trying to say hubris. He fucks that up. U2's lead singer Bono. Nah. Fran Drescher's name. Sigourney Weaver is a great one. Dzhokhar Sarnev.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So why don't we and Rush Limbaugh? He's got a few problems with Limbaugh's name. Why don't we hit play on that, Timko, and enjoy a little bit of the good Reverend Al Sharpton.
But resist we much. We must. They're all jitty about a shutdown. The tortoise in the race, then co-author of Hubris. U2 lead singer Bono, Fran Drescher, Sigourney Weaver, suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh, the show Rush Lombard hosts Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Is Mike Muckery yesterday, Antonin Scalia. Kim Kardashian and the Republican candidates of Cairo and Benghazi. We rank behind Lavita. First stop,
Latvia.
Kazakhstan to college students in Beijing. He's getting lunch at Chipotle in Iowa. Maine is appropriate. The GOP's tax day giveaway to millionaires. Why was traffic problems email sent? The Environmental Protection Agency. And what sequestration has done.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's awesome.
Kind of like a new Larry King situation. You're gonna have to start watching him.
Yeah, we might need to.
I might have to start. I'll start DVRing it, I guess.
And then when Timko was pulling that up, he was telling me he found another video from Sharpton, and I think this is in the Fat Sharpton days. Yeah. Does he get pushed down? Is that what the deal is? And he kind of goes over like a
this is on the heels of the Tawana story. They went on to the Morton Downey show.
Oh God, the smoking.
I forgot about that guy.
With the mouth on the podium. Yeah.
So Sharpton and this other guy named Roy Innis start arguing basically, but there's a couple points. We can start with a little intro and then we can jump up where Roy kind of gets to it. If you want, just to kind of, so we don't give it away here. This is where he's introing them.
Tonight I want to introduce you to one very good friend of mine, Roy Innis, and another gentleman.
Look at the Rev.
And the interesting dichotomy of it all, another good friend, Al Sharpton. I mean, Al and I have gone out drinking together, but he uses it on his hair. You're not smiling tonight.
Dude, look at that suit,
No sense
how
of
the
humor
button
tonight.
is just
Hanging on.
Gentlemen, let me go first to Al. On last night's show, you had the audacity to praise Louis Farrakhan and call Roy Innis a bigot.
Look at that dude.
Would you explain to Roy Innis why he's a bigot?
Well, I would not explain to Roy why he's a bigot. I'll explain to your audience. I was a person that had respect for Mr. Innis. Mr. Innis in the late 60s was a nationalist leader in this community. And many of the things that I praise Farrakhan for now, in terms of self-help programs and in terms of having integrity, Mr. Innis represented. But in this transitional stage, Mr. Innis went from a man who would challenge
Let's get to the
to a man who would curtail and kowtow and back down to a Bob Abrams.
Who pushes him? The Innis guy?
Just 2 years ago, Mr. Innis and I were friends when a lot of ex-corps members were making allegations. But when one bum, who he knew was a bum,
Innis is going to knock him on his ass, I guess.
to turn on us, Roy, in his assignment, embraced them. Because anything that goes against our community, whether it's Bork, whether it's Bernard Goetz, whether it's Tawana Brawley, Roy Innis takes the other side. I feel that if Mr. Abrams, who has an active investigation on Roy, who Roy has said to me is using a Jewish plot against him, if Mr. Abrams and the IRS can make you get on your knees, Roy, fine. That's your problem. You should shut up and let those of us that have enough guts to stand up and fight, stand up and fight. Because there's some of us that investigations and indictments and the rest don't mean anything to. How you can go from a critic of Bob Abrams to an apologist of Bob Abrams makes you suspect at best and a sellout in fact.
Here we go.
Roy, how does it feel to be classified
Look at him smoking.
as a bigot after a lifetime of fighting for civil rights?
I will say that I'm probably one of the...
Now please zip it. We're going to let everyone talk tonight. And that's what the loudmouths are for. Let these guys talk first. Go ahead.
I'm one of the few non-bigoted black leaders around, I will say. Let me state now, let's deal with the facts. Let's go to the record. Tonight, we want to deal with the records and the facts.
Where does he push him? Is it coming
on
up pretty
this
quick
program,
here?
your program,
Yeah, Pat.
you heard me, you have me on tape defending this man. Recently, even after the shenanigans with him and the other soldiers. That's a lot of crap. Now, look, brother, you had your time. That's a lot of crap. Brother,
Look at these brothers.
Big Al went backward right off the stage.
He sure did. Yeah, he went over like Humpty Dumpty, didn't he? Look at him trying to get up.
Recently, even after the shenanigans with him and the other soldiers. That's a lot of crap.
I want to know if that button hangs in there. He's a very Humpty Dumpty.
He is, man. Look at the people in the crowd. Calm down.
This is back in the day of like Geraldo getting nailed in the nose.
Yeah, busted his nose.
All the violence on TV, like
Sure.
on these talk shows.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Sorry about the build-up, but that's awesome.
It just goes from nothing to...
Man, Al has really had some moments, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah. He sure has. God. Look at him. Humpty Dumpty. I miss Fat Rev, though.
He's just a smart ass.
Yeah.
He's wearing a medallion. That's right. He's wearing like a
It's a
rapper
huge medallion.
Some
Which-
bullying.
Look at him. I'm coming after him.
And then
Hold me back.
Morton jumps in.
Yeah.
Jumps in the middle of it.
That medallion reminds me real quickly of have you seen the medallion that Jay-Z's worn lately? He's got some medallion. He was seen at a game, him and Beyonce, courtside at his team's game or whatever. What is he on the Nets?
Brooklyn,
Wearing some medallion that believes it's from some hardcore group that believes like white people are evil and lesser, and I don't know. It's pretty nasty. But this organization is like pissed at him for wearing it. Like, dude, if you don't fully and wholly believe exactly what we believe and live it, then take our damn medallion off. But it's right on the heels of this whole Donald Sterling thing. Like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and maybe we can find details on it. And I can read it to you and make more sense. But yeah, it's pretty nasty, of all people, for Jay-Z to be wearing, you know, some horribly, you know, what appears to be racist medallion in general. But anyways, one place you probably couldn't wear a medallion like that at all is in Russia. In fact, we couldn't even do this show in Russia, and I wonder if we'll. If anyone's in Russia, I'd love to know if we have any listeners in Russia. We do have listeners all over, actually, in many places around the world. But apparently, Russia has now banned cussing in films, books, music, media, and I don't know how you go about doing that or why. They say that if you're thinking about making a film, better leave out the foul language if you want it to be seen in Russia.
Yeah, since when are they so righteous?
I don't know. Vladimir Putin signed off on a new law Monday that bans swearing at arts, cultural, and entertainment events in the country. Any new film containing obscene language won't be granted a distribution certificate. So there's no chance of seeing it at the movie theater, and copies of books, CDs, or films containing swearing can only be distributed in a sealed package labeled "contains obscene language," the Kremlin statement said. What is that about?
They have some bigger problems over there.
Yeah, you think? Like their president nude on a horseback.
Yeah, shirtless wherever he goes.
Look at him. God, that picture of him on the horse.
Yeah.
Topless on the horse is so ridiculous. Can you imagine Obama or Clinton or Bush?
Yeah, there's Obama coming out of the water.
Coming out of the water. I guess that doesn't look all that great either.
It just looks, you know, he acts like he's looking so sweet, you know.
And you know that's a well placed publicity shot. Yeah. You know, meant to do that. Obama just gets caught by the stupid.
No, you know who's also not going to be swearing anymore? You see this with Prince. He's not going to swear in songs anymore, and any more songs. It's about the idea of respect.
I didn't know he swore much in the first place.
He's come out saying something about, you never see Ali swear. He's not gonna. He doesn't like the idea that women would hear him swearing. It's so towards respect.
He's talking about a guy who changed his name to a symbol.
Yeah, exactly.
So. And you know what's funny?
What is the matter with people?
Well, and when I heard that, I thought, I forget the quote here. I got it exactly, but when I heard that, I thought, so if he does concerts, is he going to still sing old songs if they have a swear word, or is he not going?
I don't even identify him as like a.
I understand
singing songs with swear words in them.
No.
Can you even think?
Little Red Corvette.
Yeah, the little
motherfucking red Corvette and shit. Little red Corvette and shit. Yeah. I've seen him in concert, and I don't remember him saying and uttering a swear word.
You've seen Prince in concert?
Yeah, I did, and it was awesome.
He's quite a little guy, isn't he?
He is, but dude, he absolutely shreds on a guitar. Yeah. Drew was going, had tickets to see him at the Palace, and invited me to go, and it was like, I've never seen Prince before. I'll go check it out. He absolutely blew me away with how good he was. I'm serious.
He is diminutive, isn't he?
He's a wee little man, no doubt.
Little weasel over there.
Tiger Woods. Is that Tiger with him?
No.
It looks just like Tiger Woods.
Just a normal-sized human being. He looks like
that's Tiger.
A little fidget next to him.
Short celebrity dudes. Look at him. God, he is wee. He's very wee.
Yeah, it just pretty much says he's taking up this Ali no explicit policy inspired him, and talking about swearing. We need to treat not swearing in the songs anymore. We need to treat all of them, all people like royalty. Did you ever hear Muhammad Ali swear? Would you curse in front of your kids or your mother?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Would in some instances.
And like you said, I don't even really listen to him, so I don't know if he swear. You know, But if he has songs that are swears that he's wrote, sung already, does that mean he's not singing any more songs?
I'm with Jay on this. I don't remember a single song that he swears in, and I certainly don't know Prince's catalog. But
I don't either. I just thought it was
his
interesting.
hits, though. I don't remember any of that. But well, good for Prince, I suppose.
Just when you said that, it just reminded me of that.
Yeah. Did you hear about Apple's new purchase, by the way?
I did. This is unbelievable.
Getting ready to acquire Beats by Dre, Beats Electronics, the headphones.
Okay, I can see that happening. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
How much do you think they're going to pay for Beats Electronics?
These are big deals. Beats is very, very popular. So
yeah, I'm wearing them as we speak.
Many millions, I'm sure, right?
$3.2 million. I mean, billion dollars. $3.2 billion.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it could be announced as early as this week. Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre co-founded Beats 7 years ago, and they really are responsible for launching the whole headphone craze. The headphones you're wearing right now, Jay, those Sonys, and Eric's wearing them, those Sonys were industry standard forever, and they still are in most radio stations. But when Beats came out, it really launched this whole genre of headphones, and it's amazing how fast that took off. I'm shocked at that.
Agreed. But man, 3.2 billion?
Billion.
Damn, I would have never guessed that.
I don't know if that's just like the headphone thing, because it says Beats Entertainment. Usually you would think Beats Entertainment would be the headphones.
Lot more to it.
Well, yeah, because they did just launch, what was it? Could represent the company's largest acquisition, I want to see, because they did just launch their own like music sharing wing, so I don't know if it includes that or not. But they say that if this acquisition goes through, it would be rather ironic in a way, because Dre and Jimmy Iovine came up with the idea for Beats by lamenting the decline in sound quality ushered in by Apple's iPod and MP3. So that's why they started making it, because they're like, we hear something in the studio.
Suck.
Yeah, the earbuds suck, and when you pull music, if you put your CD in your computer and rip it to your iTunes, unless you go and actually tell it you want this super high quality, which enables you not to save as many songs, clearly, you lose grades of, you lose some quality. So that's why they put these out, and it's supposed to be mirroring what they actually hear in the studio when they're making it. So I don't know if that means that they're selling out in a way, but for $3.2 billion,
damn,
sounds like a good sellout to me.
Wonder what slice of that Dre actually owns.
Yeah, that's
how much
a good
of it is just
question,
him putting
dude.
His name to it.
Well,
probably
yeah, I'd love
chunk.
to know, but I'm sure it's a major chunk. I mean, he's the name and face of the whole thing. And without him, Jimmy Iovine is a big name, and he's a music mogul, but his name on a pair of headphones was not going to launch like Dre's. No doubt about it. But yeah, it'll be
good
interesting.
for Dre.
And you don't see
Dre.
You don't see Dre putting his name on back. Like he's not like someone who just has it on everything out
No,
there. It's
he
like
doesn't
a few
sell out.
things that he has his name
Yep.
on.
Yep. We got a couple minutes left here, and I thought this story was interesting. Did you see this TV dating show? It wasn't not in America.
This, I actually did. I came across this. Isn't it some Eastern European deal or something?
It is. It is. It's got some 62-year-old guy.
He discloses some past facts that are a little troubling, right?
Yes, and I'd love to know what the hell he was thinking by just coming out with this, but he stuns this host and this audience, studio audience, by revealing that he had murdered his first wife and later killed a lover with an axe during an argument. Who does that? Who?
It's a dating show.
It's a dating show.
Pick me.
Yeah, pick me. I've learned. I'm different now. His name is Sefer Chalanak. Casually too, just in passing, mentioned his complicated history with women while appearing this week on Flash TV's The Luck of the Draw. He was quick to add, however, that he is now an honest person looking for a new wife. I'm a changed man.
True, I was married prior, and I had a disagreement, but...
Yeah, the first two, we ran into some problems. You live and you learn.
Also not them.
He said he eloped with his first wife, who was also his cousin. That's good. So he murdered a family member. Yeah. They were both 17. After the girl's family tried to force her to marry a widower, he said things changed after they had lived with his family for 5 months. Her behavior changed. The nephew of the man who wanted to marry her started to come to our village. I was jealous, and I killed her, in a way.
Okay, yeah, he had a reason. Yeah, he's a victim.
Yeah, he's a victim.
All right, he was a victim in the first one. What happened with the second?
He was jealous. He said he was freed from prison in an amnesty after serving more than 4 years on a 13-year sentence. So he must have been a good prisoner, got off on good behavior a few years early. After remarrying, he separated from his second wife, with whom he had 2 children. He then began an affair with a married woman who reneged on a promise to divorce her husband for him. The couple got into an argument. He was defending himself with an axe while standing behind her. I killed her after she tried to kill me. She was accidentally killed when I swung the axe.
Holy shit.
Can you believe that? This time he served a 6-year term before he was freed in another amnesty.
And again, he's explaining all this on a dating show.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, the host of the program asked him to leave. They're like, okay, dude, beat it. But he kept insisting he was a victim of destiny. Bad luck always found me. In spite of everything, I still want to get married. This time I'll leave it to God. The show's producer told the newspaper, wherever this was, that he had acknowledged before the program that he had murdered someone, but he was allowed to appear because he had served his legal sentence. What? What?
What the fuck?
You gotta be kidding me, dude. That's incredible.
He's done his time.
That's incredible. Is that it? Yeah, we can hear it for a second, and just so people can, and we'll post it so people can see what this dude looks like. But yeah, they're not speaking English, so.
But we'll have it. It's got
the host says what?
Ne yaptın anlamadım ben.
Kader kurbanı olarak.
I did what I had to do.
Hanımını mı öldürdün?
You killed your wife?
Bir dakika şimdi.
Give me a moment.
Evet, benim hayatım.
Well, that's my life. It is what it is.
Yine buna şükür.
Niye yaptın öyle bir şey?
Why would you do something
Öyle bir zulüm yaptın.
Olan şey sadece kıskançlık.
It was all because of jealousy.
Ve bir de hal ve hareketleri.
I did what I was supposed to do.
Ne olur yani lütfen beni yanlış anlamayın.
Don't misunderstand me now. I want you to leave the program.
Teşekkür ederim.
Okay, thank you. Please.
God.
Wow.
Well, I guess
All right, if I must. If I must.
That's online dating now.
We do have some other great stories that we'll get to next time, including I think we're going to talk to a nudist colony about some things going on there, and it'll lead to a couple other stories. Timko found a story about this bowling alley with this nudist bowling event with pictures, but we're kind of short on time. We should dedicate more time to it than we would be able to give it now. But I did want to take a quick moment to mention Mike Vellucci. And those locally in the hockey world, hockey fans will know him as from the Plymouth Whalers. He's coach of the year, big time executive there, but he's no longer going to be coach and GM of the Whalers. He's moving on. He was named assistant general manager and director of hockey operations for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, with Carmanos' team. Vellucci's from Farmington Hills, ran the Whalers the past 14 seasons, helped them extend their consecutive playoff appearance streak to 23 seasons.
Wow.
Right up there with the Red Wings. He's the first American to win the Matt Layden Trophy as OHL Coach of the Year after the Whalers won the championship in 06-07, named OHL's Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year in 2012 and 13, first person to win both honors in the same season. Carmanos told the Free Press last May that Vellucci was a better coach today than 3 or 4 guys coaching currently in the NHL. And the reason I mentioned this is Judy Vellucci, Mike's mom, is my mom's best friend. So I've known Mike Vellucci for, ever, since I was born, basically. And so, yeah, it's amazing to see how well all the Vellucci boys are doing, but Mike Vellucci especially is just
that's cool,
absolutely crushing it. And local people around here, like I say, involved with hockey will know exactly who the Vellucci family is and Mike Vellucci in specific. So going into the executive offices with the Carolina Hurricanes, wow. You can do worse in life.
It's exciting, man.
Yeah. When I went to his wedding, a young Eric Lindros was there.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, Eric and I got fucked up, just doing shots, and it was funny at the time. I
remember seeing that pictures.
Yeah, me and my mom and Eric Lindos. Eric at the time,
he was playing for CompuWare or something.
When he was playing for CompuWare, he lived with the Vellucci's. That family's been super tied in with hockey, and so these kids come from all over the world. They're too young to live on their own, so they get these host families. And Lindros was living with Judy and Frank Vellucci, and at the time that we were at Mike's wedding, when Lindros and I got all fucked up, we were doing shots and stuff. He at the time was in Sports Illustrated. He was like the cover of Sports Illustrated. He had just like within weeks of that wedding signed with his first deal with the Flyers in Philadelphia for tens of millions of dollars and
yeah, if you remember, he was slated to be the guy. I mean, he was going to be, he had the hands of the best skilled players, but he was big and tough. And, and it's just concussions
derailed him, no doubt about it. And he's a cover of Sports Illustrated at 16 years old. I mean, who does that? And I probably shouldn't mention this, but that night they had a bus going that would take you from like the wedding reception to the hotel, so people didn't have to drink and drive. And we were in no condition to drive, that's for sure. And I just remember at the end of the night, Lindros falling, getting fucked up, getting on the bus and falling out the back door, exit door. And it's like, oh my God, $50 million man falls out of the bus and lands on his ass. Holy shit, like freaking out. He was like, I'm fine. I thought he's a beast of a dude, He was fine, but at the time, the look of horror on people's faces. Oh my God, we broke the richest guy in hockey.
Nice.
So anyway, congratulations, Mike. Well deserved, and the whole Vellucci family, they must be very, very proud, as they should be. So we'll leave it there for a Friday. Have a good weekend, everybody, and we'll see you first thing Monday for another exciting edition of the Detroit Cast.
You have been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike Clark and Mike Walters.
Shut your fucking mouth.
From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you, Detroit.
I don't like you, I hate you.